We're back with the gas tank. I am determined to get this thing restored. But as you can see, anywhere there's a circle, there's a pinhole. And some of them are a lot worse than others. You can see that bad boy right there. Yikes. A little bit of rust in there, but that's why you have your petcock screen in there. Pull that thing back out. Oh, so bad. That's why you got the screen in. The gas was coming out pretty clear because I put in that filter. I can kind of watch the gas as it comes out. But this other side, you can see where I've already had some repaired, but got a couple more there, a couple there, one there, and then kind of up on the top too. We got, you can see just where they're circled, and there's probably one or two more. They're actually pretty easy to spot because you can see where the gasoline starts to bleed out, and the paint pops just a little bit, and then once you can scrape it with your fingernail, and that one I just scraped off with my fingernail initially, and like all that paint just kind of pops right off. But we will fix this gas tank. All right, we're getting it done. We're going to strip some paint off. I'm mostly just going to worry about the strips all along, and then the top. Because I do have a hole and some right there. And the paint needs to come off because there are a couple dents that we're going to need to Bondo. It's not too bad. And we'll probably find some more holes. Then we can get them all fixed. A little bit more. All right. Might try to save that little paint in the middle right over there. Nice to have a little bit of the original color on, just for fun. Here we go. Ooh, we're making drips. Okay. I am going to need 2 hands. So here's some after footage. It's looking good. The other side looks about the same. I'm going to do just a second coat because on top there's still a bit of residual, and then underneath the sticker, a lot of the sticker peeled off, which is awesome. Pretty cool. All right, here it is. I'm not going to be painting it for a while, so I covered it in some Birchwood KC Barcade, which I use for a lot of metal projects, axes, and also on some firearms. I'm going to have to go through and find the pinholes again. I have pictures. I'll go shine a real bright light down it, and then we'll be able to decide to take all the paint off because I need to address all the rust, and we will get it taken care of. Just going to try to clean off some of the rust. This is a kit I got off of Amazon from recommendation of Den of Tools. If you guys follow that guy, he does deals of the week every Monday. Always looking for sales for us guys that are poor. And just using it on my drill, just the green, basically a green scour brush, Scotch-Brite. And you can see what it's already done. So this was pretty rusty, and it's looking good. A little more gentle than just sandpaper. And so we're going to do that. Ooh, look at that bad boy. I got 2 different lights. I got my white light and my yellow light on there, so we'll get some different lighting on it. And I like that. Maybe I won't paint it. I'll just go for a brushed metal finish. That's cool. I had to put that one back on, and I lost the other ones, but I'll find them. And we'll circle them, and we will get, sorry for the shaky cam, we will get this bad boy painted or welded up. And we're back with the gas tank, back from the welder. This is the only spot that he couldn't quite just get perfect, which he said the wall was so thin. I mean, if you remember, there's like 5 or 6 holes there. And so it's got a little bit of a booger weld on there, which is totally fine because it's a little dented. We could Bondo that super easy. Other than that, I'm actually, even with that, I'm really pleased with his work. He even ground down some of these real smooth for me. This one back here, this one over here. It all looks really good over there at the bottom. Flip it over. So you can see just like all those right there, up there, all around here, all there. I mean, this is also like, I mean, it just needs to hold gasoline. That's it. Next, we are going to try to scrape out the inside. I'm going to seal up the bottom with my glove and just a rubber band, and we're going to put some drywall screws in there with some acetone and just try to scrape out residue, varnished, gasoline, and just try to get more of the rest out. Alright, I'm not going to get a good video, but you can kind of see the chunks. There's a lot of them. The sidewall was really bad, but I can't get a good video of it. But after doing all the shaking for about 40 minutes, that took a lot of energy. I did pop one tiny hole right there and one on the bottom, which is expected, and that's what I was looking for. The Caswell epoxy liner will take care of the rest of any holes that pop. This will make a better video. So here's the aftermath of just the acetone. So you can see like all the film. Let's see if we can drop it, make it really slow, go the other way. We can see, oh yeah, look at all the sludgy, rusty, nasty rust. Look at that. That is so bad. That's why we're doing it. Clean it out. Rust in my carbs. That's why my motorcycle doesn't run well. All right, check this out. Here we go. Shake. I missed the initial spurt, but it was so bad. I probably shouldn't be grinding that into the rocks like that. I'll do just 2 hands. That's a lot safer way to do this. It was so bad. Maybe if I get this other side. There we go. Let's try to tip it back. Yeah, it'll rinse out pretty good. Alright, so I got in a hurry last night, but what I did is I set up this bucket and did 2 gallons of evaporust. I wish I could have bought a 5-gallon one, but they were out. 2 gallons will be fine. Did pop another hole, which is good. I want holes popping. That means my rust removal is working. There was a hole there that I sealed up. Duct tape will probably work for now. I'm sure there's more. There was some underneath too that I found. Not really seeing any other drips, so that's good. Up there? No. Okay. Yeah, so just popped one, and it's dripping pretty good, but that's why I've got the catch bucket, because evaporust is reusable, so I don't want it dumping on the ground everywhere. I'm going to flip this thing upside down and head to work until lunch. So after about 4 hours upside down, you can kind of see along that rim right in there, and then focus, yeah, looking a lot better. Focus on the right stuff. And okay, don't. All right, and it didn't leak, even though I do have a new gasket that I'm going to put on. I'm just using the old one because I don't care about it. But we're going to put it on its side next, and then on the other side, and we're just going to keep letting the evaporust do its thing. I'm pleased. This is working well. Now, while it's in here on its side, I'm going to use a rag with some evaporust on it. I'm going to try to dump it into the emblem mount. The other side's worse, but if you can see down in there, like it is rusty on that other side. So while the evaporust is sitting on this side, to make sure all the rust on the inside is gone, we're going to put some evaporust, and then after a couple hours, I'm going to flip and do the same thing. So there we go. Rag soaked in, and we're just going to cover it. Kind of help keep some of the moisture in. There we go. Here's where I'm at in the process. I'm drying it out. So I have tipped it upside down and on its side and front to back for like 2 days now that it's been coated on the inside with evaporust, and it looked really good until I rinsed it out. Then you're going to get some flash rusting, which is normal, and I don't think is 100% avoidable. But what I'm hearing from people who have used the Caswell liner, that like it was not an issue at all. That flash rusting is not an issue. If there's chunks of rust, that's bad. You don't want that. and that it needs to be completely dry. I got all my screws out. I've got a little grabber that I was using, and then I also just kind of tipped it upside down and jumbled it until they came out of the top. But anyway, I've got a heat gun on high. I'm going around all of my seams, just taking my time, making sure it's completely dry, getting into here and everywhere. And then I've got my leaf blower that we're drying it out. It's in the sun. I'm gonna do this for a little longer, and then I'll actually do the epoxy. All right, I'm doing it inside because I can control the temperatures better in my house. They said this is really important to be between 70 and 85 degrees or something like that. And where it's still May in Idaho, it could snow tomorrow, so you never know in Idaho. So here's my Caswell. I've got the royal blue. It's gonna be all blue inside my tank and maybe outside my tank. I don't know, not quite sure on color yet. But we'll see. I'm gonna mix it up. I'm gonna follow the directions that came with it, which was mix it for a couple minutes, then pour it in and swirl it around for like 20 minutes. I'm probably gonna go longer. Gotta tape it off a little bit. All right, here we go. All right, what I did is I dumped it in, had it all sealed off, and I just kind of kept swirling until it got to like a different consistency. Like it's not really dripping, which is like the instructions say when it starts to go plastic, and this is, I'm sure that's what that kind of feels like. But I mean, 45 minutes, I was probably swirling it around in there and just making sure it got into every crack, every crevice. What's funny is on this other side, there was actually like a couple spots where it oozed out where I didn't even have it taped. I didn't even know there was a hole there. So that's awesome. It's exactly what I want. But I swirled it so much, I actually don't think I'm getting any. Let me get my light down there. You can see like I'm not getting any drips out of the petcock hole. So I think I pretty much used the entire stuff coating it. Let's see if we can see inside. So I have this cool blue rim that's kind of fun. And then you can see like it looks like it's starting to drip there, and it might. There were some that were still kind of dripping. But like, it's awesome. Like I'm excited. If I can show it really better, I don't know. I was looking in there and you could see where it's still dripping from the top down, like you see that big drip that will probably happen. It's probably going to be doing this for a while, but yeah, this is awesome. So far I think it's working. I think it's stuck, and again, I don't think the flash rust is as big a deal. A lot of people said that they've had this Caswell stuff on their tanks for years and they had some flash rust, so we'll see what happens. In a couple days it's going to sit in the office here for like half a week. So I did make two minor mistakes on here. So I didn't wipe off the excess from on the inside lip right there. So when I put the cap in, it's just a little snug. It will go in all the way. I can't do it with one hand, but I was testing it before. I did put a new rubber on there, so that's great. The other minor mistake I made was I didn't wipe the excess off right in there, so you can see that the epoxy made for a smaller hole. Now that normally wouldn't be a big deal, but when you put your petcock screen in there, it doesn't fit anymore. I mean, I can probably just take the Dremel and just kind of sand that away. I'll probably get a vacuum to suck out all the dust. And you could say, well, just run it without the screen, but you need this tube right there for your full part and then your reserve part. So when you have that tube in there, that's how it makes it so it can run off of the full, and then as it starts sputtering, you know, oh, okay, I need to go get gas. That's, you know, there's no fuel marker on these, so we'll fix that. All right, we've got the tank back on, got a new rubber piece back here, which is nice. It's not stiff and broken like my last one was. I did sand back a little the inner rim in here and where the petcock goes, and I used a vacuum, but a little bit of dust did get inside, so I did wash it out with some water, let it dry, and now I've got about half a tank of gas in there. Kind of see it splashing around, and it's actually been in there for a whole day, and we're not getting any leaks, and I've got my fuel line back in. And I'm not going to do a filter because I don't really see the point now that I have a brand new tank and I have the petcock screen. So if there's any big things that get in there, that'll catch it. Now we just got to sort out a spark issue and we'll get this thing started. But that'll be it for this video. So far, very, very pleased with the Caswell tank liner. Seems to be working really good. Hopefully I can do an update video in 10 years, man. That's still working then. Later.